Newton-Raphson metode gaan ons gebruik om die kritieke waardes, die nulpunte, of 0 points, to find that of a graph, any graph. What the concept says, if there is some type of function, let's say the function is like that. Let's say the function looks like that. We're trying to get to this point. That is our aim. Dis wat ons probeer. Ons probeer die nulpunt kry. Dan sê Newton se metode. If I chose this as a first estimation, I'm guessing this value. Let's say the x-intercept is at 0,81 and I'm choosing 1 as a starting point. As ek 1 kies, so ek kies na 1 as my eerste benadering, dan sê Newton, hier waar die funksie wel gelyk is aan 1, gaan ek 'n raaklyn kry, want ek het 'n tangent. And wherever the tangent cuts my x-axis, whatever this answer is, let's say this is now 0,925, it's going to be a better answer than 1. 0,9 is klaar 'n beter antwoord as hierdie antwoord 1. Hy is klaar baie nader, it's already much closer. Then Newton says, if I do that again, so I'm taking the 0,925, again I'm taking this one, so I'm getting my tangent here at the green. Whatever I cut now, the tangent will give me even closer approximation. If I were to zoom in, now I can get maybe the answer 0,8257, which is much closer to this answer 0,81. And that's what Newton says. To go to our side, they're saying, if I have a function equal to 0, because we're trying to solve the root, as ek 'n funksie gelyk aan 0 stel, dan ek wil graag my wortels gaan uitwerk. With the unknown root alpha, then at alpha it will be 0, so by my wortel gaan ek ons null hê, at the root, at the critical value, at alpha it will be 0. Then they say, if xn is our first estimation, then the following will give me an even better estimation. So ons het gekies x gelyk aan 1 as ons eerste benadering. Maar Newton sê, as ek hierdie metode gebruik, gaan ek selfs 'n beter benaderde antwoord kry. How does it work? We have to take our first estimation minus my function in that point, divided by the first derivative of the function in that point. This new answer will give me an estimation even better. Hierdie antwoord gaan vir my 'n waarde nog nader gee. Let's take an example. Kyk na 'n voorbeeld. As ek het hierdie funksie 2 cos x min x kwadraat. 2 cos x minus x squared equal to 0. It has some type of root, and they're asking us to go and find the root. They tell us what to use as first approach. Hulle sê vir ons wat is ons eerste benadering, en hulle gaan vir jou gewoonlik sê, of hulle sal vir jou 'n goeie indikasie gee wat jy moet kies. So they will either give you the first approach, or they will give you a good estimate of where you should start. They want the root, the answer correct to 5 decimals. So they want a very specific answer, very final answer to 5 decimals. Okay, before we start, remember your calculator must be in radians. To use Newton-Raphson method, we need the function. We need a first estimation, great, that's what they've given us. So we know x1 is in this case 1,05. And we also need the derivative of the function. So our solution, we need to have our function. Here it is, 2 cos x minus x squared. We also need our first derivative, which cos goes to negative terms, it goes to negative 2 sin x. X to the power of 2 goes to 2x, so I have my derivative. And according to Newton's method, sorry, let me just move up. According to Newton's method, I can take this 1,05 minus my normal function divided by the first derivative. Now we're going to use our calculators for this. We're going to type in 1,05 on your calculator. Now it's your answer button. And now I can use the answer button, or some of you use the store button to store it in the value A, value B, but the answer button works nicely. Newton says I must take the first answer, so your answer, minus, I take my top function, and everywhere I see x and I put in answer, so 2 cos answer minus answer squared, divided by negative 2 sin answer minus 2 answer. When you press equal, you will get a new answer. You're going to get 1,022004, which is already much closer to the actual value than this 1,05. Since they said I need to round off to 5 decimal places, I'm going to round up to 6. They're asking for 5, but I'm going to go until the 6th one starts to repeat. Okay, so we have a new answer. This is now our answer button. Now I'm doing that again. Now that red answer minus 2 cos answer minus answer squared over that whole thing will give you a new answer, 1,021689. Good. It's not being repeated, so I'm going to do it again. So now I take green answer, put it back into the formula, press the equal sign, and I'm getting 1,021689. I'm going to see, okay, whatever my answer is going to do is going to start to repeat. The 6th decimal is repeating, so now I can stop and round off. So my answer, rounded off to 5 decimals, is 02168, 1,02168. If it did not repeat, I would have pressed the answer button again, and I get x5, and again x6, and again x7, until at least 6 decimal places repeat. Dit is wat ons net also sê. So gaan die antwoordknopie weer en weer en weer druk totdat die 6de desimaal begin herhaal. Want hulle soek die waarde korrek tot 5 desimale, so gaan kyk totdat die 6de waarde begin herhaal, dan kan ek my antwoord afdruk. Good. So our basic method is go find our first derivative. We have to know what is our first guess, and then we just put it into the formula. Dus methode is, dan kry jy eerst afgeleide, kry jou eerste benadering, en sit hom in die formule in. Let's look at this example. They say use Newton's method and to determine the solution, correct to 4 decimal places, and they give you the function. And they also tell you use x equal to -1 as your first estimation. So hulle sê vir ons hierso, gebruik Newton's methode en vind 'n oplossing korrek tot 4 desimale, en hulle sê gebruik x gelyk aan -1 as jou eerste benadering. Goed. So ons weet, ons funksie is op die oomblik x to the mag 3 plus x plus 1, in our function. We also need our first derivative. Our first derivative is going to be 3x squared plus 1. We also need our first estimation. Eerste benadering gaan hierdie -1 wees. So now Newton's law says to get the next value, a value that is even close, om die volgende kry, gaan ek hierdie x1 vat, minus my funksie in die punt x1 gedeel deur die afgeleide in die punt x1. So I'm going to take this -1 minus my function, which was x cubed plus x plus 1 divided by the first derivative, 3x squared plus 1. I can put this into the calculator. Remember to use the answer button. It's going to make it much easier. Put all of that in the answer button. -0,75. So this is now x2. If I just press the equal sign again, I'm going to get a number that's even closer, -0,686 0.0465, and we know we have to go on up to, let's also say, 4 desimale plekke, so I know I have to write at least 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have to write at least 5, at least until the fifth one starts to repeat. Good. So I'm going to do that again. Now my answer, x4 is negative 0.68233. Oh, it's technically a 9 next to it. I'm going to have to do it again. I have to do it until it starts to repeat. Negative 0.68232. X6, negative 0.6823327. Ah, great, it's starting to repeat. The fifth one started to repeat. Over here it was a 6, then a 3, 2, and a 2 again. Since it starts to repeat up to the first 5, I can now conclude that benaderd de waarde negative 0.6823, rounded off to 4 decimal places. So ek het aangehou totdat die 5de waarde begin herhaal het. Toe kon ek sê, okay, my benaderde waarde is dan hierdie minus 0.6823. We can also use Newton's method to determine a stationary point. Ek kan ook Newton's methode gebruik om 'n stasionêre punt uit te werk. Wat is 'n stasionêre punt? Ons het gesê dit is 'n draaipunt. Of a base point, stationary point, that's going to be a turning point. And we know that at stationary points, we know that the first derivative is equal to 0. Ons weet, by enige draaipunt, by stationêre punt, is die eerste afgeleide gelyk aan 0. Dan eerste afgeleide gee vir my gradiënt, en ons weet die draaipunt, the gradient daar op die berg is 0. We know the first derivative gives me gradient, and we know that the gradient at the turning point is equal to 0. So if I need to find a stationary point to find, so I'm going to have to change the formula a bit. Sorry, not stationary point, you have to find the stationary point. I need to determine the 0 point of a graph and change the formula to the following. So now my function looks like this. My formula lyk nou so, waar die eerste afgeleide gelyk is aan 0. That's what we're trying to get. Stationary point is first derivative equal to 0. So now my function changes to first derivative on top divided by second derivative at the bottom. So gaan my formule bietjie verander. So gaan nou my eerste afgeleide gedeel deur my tweede afgeleide wees. So ek gaan nou 'n voorbeeld. Look at the example. Find the stationary point of this function, then they tell you what to use. So x equals negative 2, that means our first approach was eerste benadering x1, dan means our first approach is this negative 2. And give the answer group to 5 digits. Since I want this stationary point, I need my first derivative and second derivative. Ek het my eerste en my tweede afgeleide nodig. Eerste afgeleide gaan wees 9x kwadraat plus 20x. My second derivative will be 18x plus 20. I can still use Newton-Raphson's method, which says I take my first approach minus my first derivative divided by my second derivative. Here's Newton-Raphson's formula, so methode. So I substitute my first approximation, I put my min 2 in, oralste, and I get an answer that's even closer. Maar as we say, correct tot 5 desimale, 5 digits, I have to do that again. You do not have to write all of this out. You can just press equal on your calculator if you have put in this into your answer button. So gaan ons weer doen, totdat hulle soek 5 desimale, so totdat 6 desimale begin herhaal, until 6 decimal points starts to repeat. We're seeing here at x5, our fifth attempt, we're starting to see our grade is repeated. So now I can conclude my answer, my x value, my stationary punt is -2.22222, negative 2,22222. Let's look at the example. They say use Newton's method to determine a stationary point of this function. They tell you to use x equal to 0 as the first estimation. Dus gaan Newton's methode gebruik om die stationêre punt van hierdie funksie te kry. En hulle sê ook vir my wat ek moet gebruik as my eerste benadering. Since I want the stationary point, I need to get the first derivative, which is 2x sin goes to cos x. I also need my second derivative, which goes to 2 minus sin x, because cos x goes to negative sin x. I have my first approach, ek het my eerste benadering, hierdie gelyk aan 0, en dan sê Newton's methode dat ek my eerste afgeleide deel met my tweede afgeleide. Goed, so ons sit my 0 in, substitute the 0, and all of this you do on your calculator, but I need to see at least that you've written down Newton's method at least once. Jy moet ten minste Newton's methode een keer neerskryf. I need to see this at least once so that I can see that you use Newton's method. Now I can get x3. If I'm correct, I'm getting negative 0.5. If I'm doing it again, I get negative 0.45062. Doing it again, I'm getting negative 0.45018. Doing it again, I get negative 0.45018. And since we're going up to 5 decimal places, let's see, that's the first 6 repeat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great, the sixth one is starting to repeat itself, so I can now confidently say that x is equal to negative 0.45018. And there is my answer. So we can use Newton's method to determine a root. We can use Newton's method to determine a stationary point. So ons kan 'n wortel kry, 'n nulwaarde, of ons kan 'n stasionêre punt kry. So ons kan Newton's methode gebruik om agter te kom waar twee grafieke mekaar sny. So die derde ding wat ons kan gebruik met Newton's methode. As ons aan die laaste enetjie kyk, then they say the graph of this one and that one intersects at A. They want you to show algebraically that the intersection lies in this interval. But first ons daarby kom. If I were to tell you, let's go back to the previous example. Here they told us to use x equals 0 as our first estimation. Hier het hulle ons gesê dat x gelyk aan 0 ons eerste benadering moet wees. 'n Vraag wat hulle kan vra is, toon aan dat x gelyk aan 0 wel 'n goeie raaistuk is. I can ask you whether x equals to 0 is a good estimation. Is that even a good estimation? And the way we go and decide whether it's a good estimation, remember we're trying to get we're trying to find the x-intercept. Now we chose 0 as our first approach. Ons het nou gesê 0 is 'n goeie punt. We're going to check whether 0 is a good estimation. We're going to look at the one just before and the one just after. If the function in the point negative 1 has an answer that is negative, and the function just after 0 and the point 1 has an answer that is positive, it means it went from a negative to a positive. So between negative 1 and 1, somewhere here it definitely had to cross through the point. So 0 is a good plan because just before 0 the graph was negative, and just after 0 the graph is positive. So that is a good estimation. So they're asking me the same type of question. They're asking me, show that there is some type of intersection in this interval. Byvoorbeeld 'n snypunt in hierdie interval lê. So I would have chosen x equals 2, x gelijk aan 2 wat in die interval lê. And now we just want to see, is it really true? If I put in x equals to 2 in the equation, will that be a good approximation? Is that a good plan? So I can look at x equals 1, I can look at x equals 3, I'm going to put that 1 into the function, I'm going to put the 3 into the function, and if the sign changes, maybe from a positive to a negative, or negative to a positive, that means somewhere between 1 and 3, it had to go through the x-intercept. We are talking about the intercept. Ons praat met van 'n snypunt. So snypunte, usually if you have an intercept, you would have said, man, let's put it equal to each other. Hulle gelyk gestel het aan mekaar en dan sou ons alles een kant toe gebring het. So plus x and yeah. This is now my function. So my function is I'm subtracting the two graphs from each other. So my puntjie gaan wees en ek het twee grafieke van mekaar aftrek. Maak nie saak wat jy van wat jy afgetrek het nie, maar that's my new function. So that function in the point 1 will give me an answer negative 1,2. That function in the point 3 will give me an answer 1,46. Good. Since it moved, since we had a negative answer here and now a positive, we know it has to go through the 0 line, the x-axis. So my reason would be because the function is continuous, it's one continuous line, and the sign changes, there must be a 0 between 1 and 3. So aangesien my funksie kontinu is, aangesien fx kontinu is, kontinu, en die teken ander vanaf positief, nee, vanaf negatief na positief, moet daar dus 0 tussen 1 en 3 lê. Good. So that's our first one. Show that there is an intercept in that interval. So I put it into the function and I check whether the sign changes. Then they say use Newton's method to solve that x value to rectify decimal places. So gebruik Newton's methode direct tot 5 desimale plekke. We know Newton's method. Okay, so now we know our first approximation, x1, must be somewhere between 1 and 3. So I'm going to choose 2 as my estimation. So Newton says, so now question B, Newton says my second one has to be that first one, minus my function divided by my function, the first derivative. The function we got in the previous question, I'm just going to rewrite it. We said it was cos 2x minus a half x plus 1, okay, plus half x minus 1. My first derivative would be negative, negative sin 2x multiplied with the derivative of the angle, which is